Hello and a very warm welcome to the MENA Golf Tour Highlights Show. This week we make our way to a new destination as Kuwait makes its debut on the tour. Kuwait City, the capital of Kuwait, is the political, economic and cultural nerve centre of the country. With one of the highest per capita incomes in the world, mainly due to massive oil reserves, this is also one of the wealthiest cities on the globe and is home to more than half of the population of the nation. As we gallop towards the climax of the 2016 season on the MENA Golf Tour, the addition of Kuwait is another beautiful feather in the tour's cap. The Sahara Golf and Country Club in Kuwait City is the first and thus far the only green course in the country. The venue was in top shape to host its first ever professional tournament. To the delight of the management, the MENA Golf Tour added it to its growing list of venues.
Sahara was opened in 2006 and this is our 10 years anniversary, and having MENA Tour has a big impact for our members as well as the younger junior academy. We have been involved in the golf recently, so having MENA in Kuwait is a big deal for us in here.
Boys are really happy with the golf course. It's very similar to Al-Ain, what we played before, with the design within the racetrack, but the layout's great. The final 5 holes are fantastic and the boys have really enjoyed the challenge, and the greens have been great, so all in all it's been a great debut for the course.
The par 70 course stretches to over 6,700 yards. Designed by Peter Heraty, the beautiful 18-hole championship course is a challenging affair. It's touted as one of the best maintained courses in the region, and there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes to achieve this magnificence.
Big problem we have is the weather in the summertime, and then the harsh winters also, by the way. And also with the greens and the fairways during the winter, they don't reseed them, so it becomes very hard.
With just 2 more tournaments to go before the MENA Golf Tour Championship, the battle was heating up as every player wanted to be closer to the summit before heading to the final showdown. For the Kuwaitis, though, it was a first opportunity to play against the best in the region.
Our amateurs are the pioneer of golf in Kuwait. They started playing golf in the 80s. Before Sahara, there was a sand course. So they're the one who've been involved in that sand course, and as well as they are right now involved in Kuwait Golf Committee as well. So that generation is a 20 years old generation, and we're learning from them. They're the one who teach us everything they know about golf so far.
Another amateur not from Kuwait is an extremely familiar sight to the cricketing faithful, the former England wicketkeeper Craig Kieswetter, making his debut on the tour. The ICC World 2020 winner's career was cut short after he damaged his eye while playing in 2013. 3 years on, he's looking to start afresh. Kieswetter debuted with a bang. He slammed a 4-under 66 in the opening round to make a great first impression. Joe Heraty looked in the form of his life with 9 birdies in the first day's play, including this one to card a stunning 62. And the Netherlands' Fernand Oster had a bogeyless day. The 6 birdies earned him a 64. After an impressive 64 in the opening round, Stuart Archibald continued his good work in the second 2, a 4-under 66 to march to the top. And a flawless second round for Scotland's Paul Doherty lifted him among the contenders. So that's how it looked after 2 rounds of engrossing action in Kuwait City. Stuart Archibald, who had never won on the tour before, led by 2 shots. Paul Doherty and Joe Heraty were in second. So will Archibald be able to make history? We'll find that out and more after this very short break. Welcome back. You're watching highlights of the MENA Golf Tour. Into the third and final round, and here's Jack McDonald of Scotland with his second shot at the par 4 first. Excellent approach from him, led to a birdie, and that took him to 7 under par. Here's Mariano Ochoa of Spain at the second with a birdie putt, another par 4. And he got that hold very nicely indeed, and he also moved to 7 under. Germany's Aaron Lettmanstetter from just off the green at the first, his 5th shot. He got it in, that was an exceptional effort, but it was still a dropped shot for him to start his round. Back to Jack McDonald at the third, and this was another birdie putt, the 476-yard par 4. And another exceptional putt. His second birdie of the round, and that took him to 8 under par. England's Joe Heraty with his second shot from just off the fairway. The first proving very birdieable for the leaders, and Heraty with that approach was able to eventually secure his own birdie and move to 9 under. Here was Jack McDonald at the 6th. His third birdie of the day, this one coming at the 483-yard par 4, and that took him to 9 under. Scotland's Paul Doherty bucked the birdie trend at the first though by dropping a shot. Not able to hole his par putt there, and that dropped him back to 7 under par. Luke Trocado of Scotland at the 6th. His second shot, he had a bogey at the first, but that wonderful approach gave him the opportunity for his first birdie of the day. And Joe Heraty at the 7th, the par 4 420-yard hole. An excellent birdie putt, his second of the day, and that made him 10 under par and the leader. Here was England's Stuart Archibald. And that one only his second dropped shot of the week at the 6th. Dutchman Fernand Oster at the 7th. That was a double bogey putt, so a triple bogey for him at the end. And that blew him right out of contention. He was off the leaderboard. Here is the leaderboard as the third round continued. Joe Heraty with 2 top 10 finishes already this season, led most closely chased by Scotland's Jack McDonald and Stuart Archibald, and a host of other players snapping at their heels. Here's Stuart Archibald with his second shot at the par 4 7th, the 420-yard hole. 64 and 66 for him so far this week. Oh, and that's a very favourable bounce. Very nice indeed for Archibald. He's still got work to do, but he does have a birdie opportunity. Now Joe Heraty. Birdie putt for him at 8. He's the leader. Oh yes, perfect weight, fantastic. He's 62 in the first round, the lowest round of the week so far. And at the short par 3 8th, just 153 yards, he's on fire again. Here's Archibald now for birdie at 7. Gets the pace pretty good, but not quite the line. This is his first MENA Golf Tour event since the Golf Citizen Classic at the Els Club at Dubai Sports City, where he came 30th. Here's Mateus Calderon, the amateur, the Chilean. Oh yes, excellent stuff from him. A birdie at 16. Sensational. He's chasing Heraty's 62. He dropped a shot at 14, but he was out in 31, and now that's his 4th birdie coming home. Here's Heraty with an eagle putt now at 9. Pretty good pace. He really is a man on a mission, Joe Heraty. His father's been diagnosed with a serious illness, so victory here really would mean the world to him. Taps in for birdie. His 3rd successive birdie. He's out in 31 and absolutely flying. Paul Doherty for birdie at 8. Oh yes, He's got the weight absolutely perfect there. 67 and 65 for him so far this week. He's been struggling for birdies up to this point in this final round, but he's got one now, his first of the day. Joe Heraty at 10. 477 yard par 4, his second shot. Stuart Archibald now, his second shot at the par 5 ninth. No birdies for him so far today and a dropped shot at 6. He really does need to get some momentum in his round. And that's a terrific shot. He's got work to do here, but he's got an outside opportunity there, you would say, for eagle. Now Joe Heraty for birdie at 10 from just off the green. He got the pace pretty much spot on, but as you can see from his gesture there, didn't quite get the line right. Archibald for eagle then at 9. He's up off the putt early. Pretty good weight. Just staying on the top side of the hole. He'll have that little tap in for birdie. Nicely done by Archibald. Much needed. Takes him to 10 under. Out in 35. Regulation figures. Is that the start of something, you wonder? Mateus Calderon. His second shot at 18. It's a lovely touch around the green, isn't it? The amateur. Rehan Thomas, remember, the Indian amateur, already winning on the MENA Golf Tour this year. And Calderon now will have that little tap in for a birdie. Sensational stuff. He's equalled Joe Heraty's day 1 round, 62. He's the clubhouse leader, 200 for 3 rounds of golf, 9 birdies, only his 5th MENA Golf Tour event. Wonderful stuff from Mateus Calderon. Finished 7th in the Sheikh Maktoum Dubai Open at Al Bardia in September. Looks set for another top 10 finish here. Joe Heraty, though, the 25-year-old Englishman, still leading, and it's very tight at the top of the leaderboard. Welcome back. We're heading to the climax of the Sahara Kuwait Championship. Englishman Joe Heraty at the 11th had this opportunity for birdie at the short par 3, but it didn't drop, and a missed chance for Heraty to extend his advantage. Heraty's fellow Englishman Daniel Owen here at the 16th had this for birdie, and he got it. His 6th birdie of the day to take him to 11 under par, ahead of Mateus Calderon and just 1 shot behind Joe Heraty. Thiago Lobo of Brazil, the amateur, finished superbly. This is second shot at 18, which led to a birdie. He finished with a final round 65 for a total of 200. Impressive stuff. Not quite so impressive was Archibald. Just slipping that one past. That was his par putt, dropping a shot at 13 and still struggling to head in the right direction in the final round. Daniel Owen holding out on 18, a birdie putt for him, finishing with 64 and replacing Mateus Calderon as the clubhouse leader, 11 under par. Stuart Archibald, frustration for him, dropped shot at 15. But Joe Heraty, showing his fighting qualities, a terrific save, wonderful par putt at 16 after an excellent birdie on 14. Utterly focused, 5 birdies in the day up to that point and still no dropped shots. So Joe Heraty still leading with those closest to him, all now in the clubhouse, and only collapsing over the last couple of holes. Heraty would deny him the title. Stuart Archibald with his second shot at the par 4 16th. A frustrating day for him. But he's on the green and he has a chance of birdie. Joe Heraty now, a birdie putt of his own at 17, and surely this would seal the title if he got it. No, but par will still do nicely if he can hole out there, and only a total collapse on the final hole will surely prevent his victory. Jack McDonald now at 18 for birdie, and that one just slides by. Zane Scotland looking on, a smile on his face. And McDonald holds out for a 67 in his final round, a 3-round total of 2-0-1, home in 35 after 3 birdies on his outward half, a case of what might have been. Here's Archibald now for birdie at 16. No. Oh goodness me, that's the story of his round really. Utter frustration, just 1 birdie at 9 and 3 dropped shots. Here's Heraty for par at the penultimate hole. Gets it, very nicely done, still 2 ahead and within touching distance of the title, you would say now. Doherty at 16 for birdie. Nicely holed. 2 birdies and 3 bogeys today for Paul Doherty, acknowledging the gallery, but he's been inconsistent when he really needed to be red hot. Luke Trucado at 18, across the green. Pretty good weight that, and acknowledged by the gallery. Playing his previous 6 holes in regulation, 1 under for the day. Trucado to this point in time. Here's Stuart Archibald at 17, hoping for a miracle, you'd say. This is second shot. And that's nice, very nice indeed. Pin high and a chance for birdie. Trucado holes out. Birdie for him to finish off, 9 under par. Nicely done, 201 for 3 rounds of golf. Nice finish, should ensure a top 10 finish. And there's Archibald holding his birdie putt. Too little too late, you'd say. Still 1 over for the day. That's only his 2nd birdie. Joe Heraty now then, on 18. The leader by 2. This is second shot. Satisfying to go up the 18th with a 2-shot lead, you'd say. And very nicely done. On the green, and it's all looking rosy in the garden for Joe Heraty. His fellow players, it'll be such a popular win if and when he gets it. Birdie putt now for Heraty, cross the green. Something of a victory lap this last hole for him. He knows the job's not quite done yet though. Yes, excellent stuff from Heraty. He wins the title. The cap comes off. Congratulations all round. 197 for 3 rounds of golf. One of only 2 players this week to break 200. Daniel Owen, his fellow Englishman, with 199 the other. But what an emotional win for Heraty, with his father diagnosed with a serious illness on the eve of this tournament. Here's Stuart Archibald at 18. Finds the green. That's a nice shot. He'll have that for birdie. Players in relaxed mood around the clubhouse. The win's already been secured by Heraty. Paul Doherty having driven the green. That's his 2nd shot at the par 4, so he'll have that putt coming back for birdie. Archibald, a birdie chance of his own now. That would be a nice way to finish, wouldn't it? But the fact that he hasn't finished with a birdie really sums things up for him. Wry look on his face, you'd have to say. It's been that sort of day for Stuart Archibald. Can Paul Doherty finish with a birdie? Well, frustration for him to end up with a par, having driven the green. Doherty will tap in finishing off with a disappointing final round of 72. His previous round was 65. If he'd got that in this final round, he'd have been very much in contention. Here's Stuart Archibald then for par, which he gets. 71 for him to round things off. 64, 66 and 71 for Stuart Archibald. Just tips the cap and finishes at 10 under par. So an emotional success for Joe Heraty because of his father's illness. He secured victory and a comfortable two-shot victory in the end for his first MENA Golf Tour win. And the springboard really was his first round of 62. He never looked back after that. Lots of subpar rounds on the final day, underlining the quality on show.
It's been like an emotional week for me. Past few days have been a bit of a blur really. My mind's been elsewhere. It's been back home as my dad's not very well at the minute. So I'm still in a little bit of shock. I don't really know what's going on, to be fair. It's my first big tournament win and it feels unbelievable. When on the last green, knowing that I had a two-shot lead, I was just walking onto the green. I couldn't believe it. It was like a dream. It's hard to explain.
In 2014, we launched the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Award to recognise the achievements of players from the MENA region. We'll start with the amateur division. Finishing in first place from Saudi Arabia, Khalid Ataya. And now to the professional division. In first place from Morocco, Ahmed Marjan. And now, the joint leading amateurs this week, both finishing on 10 under par. From Chile, Mateus Calderon, and from Brazil, Tiago Lobo. And the 2016 Sahara Kuwait Championship champion with scores of 62, 70, 65 for a total of 197, 13 under par. From England, Joe Heraty.
So that's a wrap on this edition of the MENA Golf Tour. Once again, congratulations to Joe Heraty on his incredible feat, and until we meet again, goodbye.